Pretty sneaky, sis. But you have to wake up early in the goddamn morning to get one over on me. I'm talking Memento, Mulholland Drive ass early. I knew exactly what was going on in this movie from beginning to end. Somebody owes me an explanation because my standards are high. Guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Tyra here with another struggle review, here to discuss High Tension. Now, this movie is from 2003 and it stars Cécile de France. You know, I felt a little special when I said it like that. Now, before I get into all things High Tension, I need you guys to drop down and subscribe to my channel and like this video. I'm going to give you guys a moment to do that, and then we're going to come back and discuss all things. You know, I was along for the ride. I saw the vision. I was there. I was with the film. Tensions were high, but my patience were thin. I knew exactly what was going on in this movie the entire time, from beginning to end. And I'm gonna explain why.
Go back.
Hopefully subscribe to see more of me. Let's get into this movie. But before we jump into the video, I have to give a shout out to the person who paid for and requested this movie. So if you happen to get all that good high tension, it's not because of me, it's because of this person right here. Thank you so much for supporting me and paying for this content. Now, getting into this movie, this is a French horror film. I did watch it dubbed, and it is directed by Alexandre Aja. Now, I didn't know at the time, but I was familiar with his work. He has done movies like The Hills Have Eyes remake, Mirrors, Crawl, and Hordes. He has been outside for horror. This is one of his first real stakes as far as intense thriller horror type films, and he really did a good job. I was completely unfamiliar with this film in every single way, even down to the actors. This was a first time watch for me. Now, via the request in the comments for this movie, my expectations were really high on the thriller, hide and seek, whoa, shocking factor that I was waiting to receive while watching in at the end of this film, which we did not quite get here. Not for me anyway. But does that mean that I did not enjoy this film? Absolutely not. There were things that I can appreciate about this movie. Oh, but we gonna retrace these steps so I can show y'all how she knew that I knew that she knew that she knew that I knew the entire time that it was her. Let's get into it. Now, we open the film with what appears to be a severely injured woman who was fighting for her life. Immediately, we cut to this same woman way before these injuries ever occurred, and according to her, it was purely a dream, a nightmare of her running away from herself. She's headed to the countryside to a family friend's home in a rural country area. Now, immediately, this is when we get into one too many context clues, giving the film away before we could ever even get invested. We have that whole situation of her waking up and feeling like she's running away from herself. So to reveal something like that early right off, listen, you know, I got Martin ears. It was do. You can't be giving a pimp like me clues like that. And then to top it off, she is clearly in lust with this friend. We have multiple moments on the way to this countryside home of her making googly eyes, advances, kind of looking her up and down. And you can see that there is some love on her part. But according to the friend, girl, you know, I don't even like you like that. You cute or whatever. But I like and prefer men. That was one. Now, am I gonna act like I knew exactly what was going on right then at that very moment from the very start of the film? No, especially when we get to a psychotic dude running around getting head from a head in a Jeepers Creepers van. I was like, ooh, who is that? I'm getting real Aggie ass vibes from him. So to set that dynamic of Marie feeling like early on she was running away from herself didn't really give all that much away, but I am very attentive and I'm very particular about details in films. So I did peep that old dude getting head from a head in a car. The moment he threw it out of the window, that head looked a whole lot like Alexia. Now, the first 20 minutes of the movie are quite unsettling and really kind of slow. We spend a lot of time just setting the mood and having the girls get adjusted after the drive to the family's home. What I could appreciate about those moments, even though they were slower moments, Cecile de France, she was doing a really amazing job with her character in giving off these subtle, unsettling vibes. She didn't really do a whole lot or say a whole lot, but you knew watching the entire time that something was off about her. I feel like the movie would have worked a whole lot more if we would have really dug into Marie being that innocent, maybe victim of a character. Like that moment when we got her kind of caught up in the crops and she thought Alexia had maybe disappeared or something happened to her. Just those high expectations for what could be at risk for them with this killer on the loose. But we don't spend a whole lot of time there. To me, we immediately dig into, you know, the lack of an intimate relationship between the two, even though you clearly see that Marie has interest. She has problems making bonds elsewhere. They also give off this feeling that we don't really know about them. This is her first time being introduced to the family. She's kind of got this antisocial thing going on. And not only do we really just stop there, but we really lean into her sexualizing her friend. She's really interested. She's oohing, awing, gazing at her constantly. She even, not even good and settled into the home yet with the family, touches herself on the inside part, make me call your name in these people's house. Like, what more did you guys need to give it away? I love that dynamic of her wanting to be aroused, you know, after she's viewed her in the shower nude. She wanted some sexual pleasure for herself, not much unlike dude getting head from the head in the car that we had saw earlier. Pretty sneaky sis. Now, once the sadistic, sexually depraved and repressed ass Jeepers Creepers dude showed up, everything came full circle for your girl. Now, of course, we have him pull up in a loud ass truck that conveniently nobody hears but her. And I think at that point we had maybe our third reflection reference of her not only watching the van pull up, watching him get out, watch him walk to the door, and everything for the most part. Even the killer in her herself is silent. And we see her watch this through the window, that duality, that reflection. We constantly see her throughout this movie looking in the mirror. She is silent and she appears to be letting these things happen. I also can really appreciate the fact that this movie is a violent, bloody, gory ass mess from beginning to end. Now, there are quite a few versions of this film. I do know that some of the kills were kind of taken down a bit, especially for the more dubbed version, just so it can receive an R rating. But I prefer that you go watch the other one, you know, along with the dub version. Just, you know, if you don't speak je ne sais quoi and you want to understand what's going on. The violence here and the torture, the way that the kills were executed, that was a very good portion of the film. One of my favorite things about this film. We love some blood. We love some carnage. Give me more. She figures out exactly what she needs to do. There's a maniac on the loose and he is slaughtering my friend's family. Let me try to get a phone. Let me, you know, maybe block the door. But all the while, she is really quiet. And conveniently, none of the things work. Everything is against her odds. You know, the phone jack won't hook up. She can't sufficiently block a door. Meanwhile, time has been taken to viciously murder the father downstairs. She has had ample moments to go and warn the rest of the family, but she has not. But the movie, once again, is smartly written because it gives off the illusion of, well, you know, she's frightened. What exactly do we want her to do? She's trying to figure out her next move and she's scared. But we're not too afraid to clean up after ourselves. I love that little moment where she's wiping stuff down, and it's to give that illusion that she's trying to make the killer think that there's nobody here so she can go into hiding. I love every moment of the killer being really vicious and her kind of having this sink into the floor ass moment and kind of fading to black. And it's really done visually well. It doesn't give a whole lot away, but it is enough for us to get that sensation of her maybe having an outer body experience, and there's more going on here than what we know. I also love that every time he's on the prowl and he's like this close to finding her ass, or she's this close to hooking up to a phone, conveniently, she's not found, and every single phone throughout this whole fucking movie conveniently does not work and have service. Now, by the time we have the second murder take place of the mother child, I was already spent and I already fully knew what was happening. I love the way we have her kind of hiding away in the closet. Every reaction that she has, it's kind of, you know, in the realm of somebody who would be a victim, but it's not only defenseless, you also have these moments of her really looking into the murder, not, you know, being too squeamish or turning away as someone would really be if their life was in danger. And you also see that every single time a murder takes place, she is inside of a closet, inside of a room, somewhere outside of herself. And we see that this is very, very present as soon as this murder, who just happened to stop by and pick this particular home, spares Alexia. I love that Alexia is pretty much, you know, bound and gagged throughout the whole movie, so she can't really speak, but we do get enough from the actor to know that she is not viewing her friend as a savior or an opportunity for them to escape and maybe make it out with their lives. You see that killer go outside and kill the poor brother. I was like, damn, we killed a kid, but that's when you know it's a real horror movie. We have, you know, those horrible things happen, but once she actually sees her friend, you see that she is very much so frightful. And I love when we have Cécile de France, Marie, doing such a wonderful job here within the film, you know, to go, hey, I'm never gonna leave you, I'm gonna stick by your side. If he wanted to kill you, he would have done it already. High key, I care and want to be with you. That's why I spared you and said, fuck the rest of your family. And we really get our first glimpse into Marie's mind when we have the killings really start to take place and amp up after not only she repeatedly kind of pushes off her sexually advances in interest as far as the relationship goes, but we have this very uneasy, unsettling desperation and need coming off of Marie the entire film. And we see the further and further the film goes along, the further that she's not getting what she wants, she's not getting that validation, and Marie just does not want you, honey. It increases and her psyche gets worse and worse. Worse. Now, even though as far as I'm concerned, we have silly shit happening like her conveniently being able to go unscathed and get kidnapped right along with her friend to save her, and I'm never gonna leave your side, and here's a knife to protect yourself just in case I don't come back. Like, I was pretty much spent at those points, but I did like the elements of her speaking on, you know, just those really small connections. The movie is smart. I just, you know, peep what was going on. Her arriving at the family home in the early beginning and asking questions like, you know, do you get a lot of hillbillies around here, a lot of traffic, and just maybe giving her a visual moment or cue for what someone like that part of her psyche would look like in this element. Or her even asking about, oh, there's a picture, is there a picture of us? And oh, there's a picture, and you see him harbor over that picture in the family home and take the face cut out of it and attach it to the mirror, and you kind of see these trophies there, and it's just that element of, well, goddamn, exactly how many times has she been able to do this to a female? She is not only severely psychotic, but she is also a serial killer. Watch your back. Now, as far as the gas station scene goes, I really do love the small elements yet again to detail. I love that once we actually have this creep decide to speak, more of her feminine cues and elements start to push through. Not only is she kind of seeking help and, oh, please help, you know, call the police. There's a like, oh girl, ain't nobody calling the police. We have established that no police are going to be called at this point. But we do have the killer decides to maybe touch his hand, and I felt like it was in more of a feminine way. And when we actually have her hiding and we get another moment of her looking in the mirror, it's not so much of, you know, I'm hiding and I'm trying to make it out of here with my life. It's more of a game to her. How long can I hide from my psyche? He hasn't found me yet. I'm able to go off and still do these horrible ass things to my friend, and I have yet to be caught by my own self. I'm still enjoying these moments. And in that moment where she's hiding in the bathroom after poor little baby gets a whole ass axe to the chest, we have her step out into the mirror and see her reflection, and there is this, you know, this deep sigh of relief, and we actually see her smile. She is low-key enjoying what's going on. But all the while, she is literally fighting with herself. We see her really beginning to peek through, and the sensible side, the loving side start to come in. That loving side that wants to really protect Alexia and go after the car and this whole goddamn high-speed chase that we get into, that's her side peeking through. That side of, you know, oh, we need help, call the police. That's her side seeking through. That whole murder taking place and her deciding to actually call the police herself, but conveniently, I don't really know where we are, just get here, you know, just trace the call. And it's just so intense. We really have so many moments of high tension here, but the real high tension and the stakes are here from, will she eventually discover herself? Will she overcome this, or will she be overcame by this killer who low-key wants to kill this girl because she don't want to give her none? Like, girl, it's too many people out there. Stop it. Now, of course, after that high-speed chase, you know, where she bested herself, we have the jig be up, not only via her going back and forth within herself. We have, you know, the cops arrive, and we have that visual on the camera, that cue to go, which was supposed to be our aha moment. And I wanted that moment, and I feel like I was robbed of it. It's just like, oh my God, she's been doing these murders herself. It's been her the whole time. And I was like, I already knew that shit. But I did appreciate the ride that we got to go on, that whole chase through the woods, and her kind of inflicting that pain kind of on herself, her kind of battling with herself, like, I'm trying so hard to overcome this and kill this freaking psycho and really be there and save Alexia because I love her and I want to be with her, even though I just slaughtered her whole fucking family in a gas station attendant. We really just see how just gone and crazy she is. She is fucking Fruit Loops. And the man, the entire movie, who was playing this whole Midnight Stalker ass killer, he had such a really good Terminator ass, unstoppable, sinister energy. He was just so motivated. That side of her wanted to conquer her so goddamn badly, and she just could not win. Them battling to the death, and you know, I'm figuring, you know, but this is prior to her being found out. It's like, oh, we wanted to live, but I was like, no, kill yourself. But once she kind of best herself in that moment, and it's just like, oh, I'm collected, I'm Maria again, let me go and unchain my friend and tell her I'm here for her, baby, I'm here for you. And of course, when she actually lets her out, get the fuck away from me, you slaughtered my whole family, what the hell is wrong with you? And as soon as she doesn't get that admiration, affection, get adorned, that love, that relationship that she wants, of course, that dead, decrepit, just fucked up face ass killer, chainsaw wielding ass killer pops up and is chasing her throughout the woods. Like, it really, you know, I'm gonna say ended on a good note, but it did. I love the whole chase. I love that element of her happening to get into the car that just randomly got stuck on nothing. Like, hit the gas one more time. What are you rolling over? Leaves? Get the hell out of here. Somebody's coming to kill me. But I love, you know, the back and forth, just showing her fight with her inner self. And you really see that this thing is overcoming her. She had no fighting chance. If Alexia was not willing to give in and cater to her wanting to be with her, she was always going to be that. She never stood a chance. I love that Alexia did not give up without a fight. She was fighting to the very end. I love how gory and bloody we continue to get throughout the film with the chainsaw and all the splatter on her face, all the way to the very end that she is just completely red. And we see him over her like, oh, bitch, I'ma kill you. You don't want to be with me. If I can't have you, nobody can. And you have her, I love you. I love you. I care you. I care. I want to be with you. She's like, oh, really? Like, nah, bitch, one stab to the chest. Like, did you really think? And I was like, yeah. Now stab her 5 more times. But we really see her inner conflict and what this really all has meant for her the whole time. And thankfully, Alexia gets away with her life. And then we revert back to that opening shot, and we don't see her as the victim that we thought she was the entire movie, but we see that she is battered and she is crazy. And I love that little sinister look she gives in the end. She's like, oh, she can't see me, right? Like, no, she can't see you. She's like, hey, girl. Now, did I want that big mystery in the end, that aha moment? Of course, I felt robbed. The same robbery I felt watching Us from the very beginning, and I knew that that wasn't the real fucking Adelaide the whole time, but it was okay. I still love you, Jordan. I didn't get that. But I did really appreciate other aspects of the film, and I can't say that I wouldn't watch this again. Well, you guys, that was my review for High Tension. I hope you enjoyed it and I gave you a little high tension. Please drop down and tell me what you thought about my review and what you thought about this film, and have you seen it? If so, did I do a good job breaking it down? You know, give me some props, you know, girl lover, ego being stroked and whatnot. I look forward to reading you guys' comments. I appreciate you guys for watching this video. Please like, share, subscribe, give me some love, you know, all that good stuff. I see you guys for my next video. Bye.